Hey everybody, I want to go through a solution to a quadratic equation using quadratic formula. I want to go through and solve for exact roots and make sure that those exact roots are simplified. So let's hop in if you're looking for a relatively quick solution. Here we go. So let's solve that equation using quadratic formula. If you don't have quadratic formula nailed down in your head, then I would be putting a line in here and just writing out quadratic formula, your negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. I would write down that orange every single time until that was drilled in. But if you have that drilled in, then let's let that be background and let's just use it. So I like a first line to look as, okay, sub in your negative b, so change the sign on your b, plus or minus. Now let's simplify each term underneath our root. So I'm going to square my 6. There's a 36. I'm now going to subtract 4 times a times c. I note, though, since my equation is in standard form, which means my leading coefficient is positive, and I notice that my c value is negative, here's your trap. That when I subtract my 4 times my a times my c, I am multiplying by a negative, which means I'm really going to add that. So I got my 4 times 2 is 8 times 3 is 24. That is all over 2 times a. There we go. I think that is a great first line. Now we can simplify what's underneath the root. And now we're not going to fall into a trap. Nobody would try to reduce by 2 there because you notice that on the top of your fraction line, you have 2 terms. And so if you're going to divide out a common factor, then you need to divide out from each term. We're also not going to try to divide out with that root 60 because that is not a 60, it is a root 60, which means I can't really see my common factors yet. So make it as automatic as possible that as soon as you simplify what's underneath the root, we look to reduce the radical. So 2 numbers to multiply to give 60. Maybe we can come in on a 4 and a 15 because that's what's going to allow me, as I just slide that up, to simplify my radical first. Take the square root of 4. I cannot take the square root of 15. And now that I have that fully simplified, I can see that I do have a common factor of 2 in every term. And so if I go through now and I divide all of my terms by 2, then I'm going to get a negative 3 plus or minus root 15 all over 2. And there are my fully simplified exact roots. Don't ever feel don't ever feel like you have to write those out as negative 3 plus root 15 halves and then negative 3 minus root 15. Don't. That is a completely acceptable way of stating both of your roots. Okay, I hope that gives you a model to go through. If you were giving me that solution, all I would ever have to see is the gold. Don't worry about the orange. The blue, I think, is a nice add-in. Okay, I hope that helps you with your practice. Best of luck.